Welcome back to Okayama for round 7 of the iRacing British Touring Car Championship, and we will be starting in just a few moments. Here's your... That's not the right grid at all. That's clearly not right. But your grid for this race anyway will be Andreas Katz on pole position, and Adam Terry second. Simon Field is in third place. Ellis Stevens fourth. Laura Bond in fifth. The driver's just getting on the grid now. They've got a couple of minutes just to get themselves on the grid before this race gets underway. 16 laps round Okayama today in the first race, and then 2 more races to follow after that. This should be an exciting one. Watch out in turn 1 when we've got such a big field. There's bound to be something going on. 30 cars will make their way to the grid for this race. Almost a full pit, in fact. Hard on the tyres, hard on the brakes. There is your pole man then. Engines rev, the lights are on, and we're green. Okayama round 7. Good start from Katz. Good start from Terry as well. One of the Wix Racing cars up there gets away very, very well. Katz then leads into the first corner. Oh, and we've got all kinds of drama going on behind. Further down the field then, Sean Lay battling for that 10th position. We had a big off on the first corner. We'll see if we can come back to that in a moment, but Sean down in 10th. Oh, he's 11th now. Van Gool 12th. McCarran in 13th. Back up at the front, coming to the close of the first lap. It's Katz from Terry, from Field. Ellis Stevens in 4th place. Laura Bond in 5th. Can anyone stop this man? Andreas Katz, fastest in qualifying. Will he take the first race? We've got 16 laps to find out here at Okayama. We've got a slow car there. Marcus Narris involved in some kind of collision that we didn't see. He's into the pits. Oh, and Laura Bond is now dropping down the field as well. Something has gone on there. Craig Ray up to 5th in the Speedworks Motorsport. And behind him, Marcus Narris in the KX Momentum. Looking for a way round. That's not Marcus Narris at all. We're going to reset the timing screen here because this is clearly the wrong information. My apologies for that. Craig Ray in 5th position with Dave Grunhill. Dave Grunhill, not Marcus Narris, behind in 6th in the KX Momentum. So we go on board with Dave Grunhill, trying to find a way around Craig up in front in the Speedworks. There's not much in it coming into the end of lap 3 here. Over the start finish line onto lap 4. .4 of a second down now. Grunhill gets a good exit. Grunhill looking for a way around. It's going to be difficult for these drivers to get any kind of overtaking opportunity on a track that's so So many corners, and not the widest track in the world either. And they're coming up on a slower car in front there. So your positions after 3 laps completed: Katz in the lead, Simon Field second, Adam Terry third, Ellis Stevens in fourth, as we watch the battle for 5th and 6th. McCarran is in 7th, Gould 8th, Hefford 9th. And down the inside, Dave Grunhill. Craig Ray lets him go. A sensible move there from Craig, that could have been nasty. So, sadly a few retirees, not too many at this stage, but there was that major incident, don't forget, off the grid, and then some other kind of incident that took out Marcus Narris and Laura Bond. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll try and get a replay of that as we go through the race. So, Grunhill now is back down in 6th position. Going over the timing line now. No, he isn't. He is in 5th. He is in 5th position. Katz is still your leader. We're on lap 6. It's being chased down by Simon Field. Field, who's about a second behind at the moment. But it's this man, Ellis Stevens, who is chasing and catching Adam Terry in the 3rd place at the moment. The gap currently 3.4 seconds up to Terry. Let's see what Stevens can do in the coming laps to get that gap down. Over the start-finish line then. Stevens with a 56.5 there, so we're about a second off the qualifying pace at the moment, with another 10 laps to run in this race. And you can see how hard those brakes are working. Those brake discs, they're glowing bright red as they go into these corners. Coming down the short straight here now. Stevens looking good for the 4th, but he'll want to catch up as quickly as possible with Adam Terry. Adam Terry in front is just pulling away slightly, and it's not a great distance between him and Simon Field up in front, and Katz ahead of him. Katz is being caught very slowly by Simon Field, but it's going to be difficult to see how Simon's going to be able to get round him. There is a lot of backmarker traffic in this race, which could come into play. So around the middle part of the lap here, one of the Speedworks cars up in front is a backmarker. Field one slightly wide there, gives up a little bit of a gap. It's now just over a second. Coming up to roughly half race distance. Remember, this is the first out of 3 races here today at Okayama. It's difficult to see how this man, Andreas Katz, up in front, will not take the win here. He's been impressive in qualifying. He was impressive in rounds 4, 5 and 6 at Summit Point. An absolute machine in that eBay Motors car. Simon Field in second is just dropping off the pace a little bit. A huge field here, of course. 30 cars started this race. Not all of them will finish it, unfortunately. So Craig Ray is back up into 5th. Dave Grunhill slipping down to 6th, but you can see how badly he wants that place back. just 0.4 of a second in it. Now from this angle you can see very clearly the front of Dave Grunhill's KX Momentum car as we go down the start-finish straight. Now he made a move before, earlier in the race. We saw him go down the inside in turn 1. He's a little bit too far back there, but he gets a much better exit. Now he's right on the back of Craig Ray at the moment. Ray will have his work cut out keeping Grunhill behind him. They go bumper to bumper down the short straight here. There's just half a second in it into the first hairpin. Grunhill looks to have dropped off a little bit as we've got a slower car up in front. It's one of Grunhill's teammates there. Picked up a little bit of damage there and into the pits ahead of them. So that car's out of the way. Look how close Grunhill is, just coming out of that final corner. He's got the run, has he? He's got the run down the straight. I would be very surprised if he didn't tuck his nose out here and have a look down the inside. Keeps it in line. He feels like he's not got enough of a run to make it work this time round. It's very difficult to overtake on this track, as I've mentioned previously, and Dave just keeping it tucked in for the moment. He wants to force Craig up in front to make a mistake and sort of breeze past easily, I suppose. Ray is faster in the middle part of the lap, but Grunhill is coming back at him towards the end and down the start-finish straight, which you could argue is the most important part of the track, the highest speed and the best chance for overtaking there down into turn 1. So with 2/3 of the race complete, Grunhill down is 6, goes over the curb on the way out. That's not going to help his exit this time round. He's having a look. Positions up front of these two are unchanged at the moment. Still Grunhill not close enough. And look at that, down in 7th place. This little battle has allowed Nick McCarron to get right on the tail of Dave Grunhill just in front of him. Some lap traffic there, getting out of the way very sensibly. We're on board now with Nick McCarron. I'll get his name right this week. Last time around I called him Nick McCauley, which is absolutely not his name. Oh, almost in the back of Grunhill coming round there. He got caught by surprise with a slower Pertec car backing these cars up. So it's Speedworks, KX Momentum and Welch. And forcing the braking very early there as Grunhill. McCarron almost went into the back of him there. That Pertec car is now out of the way. This is a fascinating battle for 5th, 6th and 7th position here. So one of the KX Momentum's off up in front. I think that was a back marker, however. Ray from Grunhill, from McCarron for the 5th position. Up front then, Andreas Katz has now got a 2-second gap over Simon Field, who was in 2nd. Adam Terry in 3rd, a further 2 seconds back, and Ellis Stevens in 4th is another 2 seconds behind him. So the 1st to 4th positions look pretty safe, barring any mistakes here. It's this one we want to keep an eye on. It's the battle for 5th place. Grunhill on the bumper of Craig Ray as they come out of the final corner over the start-finish straight. Craig Ray goes defensive. McCarron is waiting like a hawk to pounce on any mistake. Grunhill takes the first corner very wide, hoping to capitalise on Ray's defensive move there. Down the inside, McCarron can't make it work. These three are completely together. Couldn't get a whisker between them. Grunhill having a look down the inside into the first hairpin there. He can't make it work this time round. They are very, very similar in terms of lap times. Grunhill just gets the inside. He hasn't got the speed coming through there in the penultimate corner then. 3 laps to go. Can Craig Ray hold on for 5th place, or will Grunhill get it, or will in fact McCarron snatch it from the both of them? Grunhill then not having a look this time round. McCarran keeps it tucked in behind as well. These three still going at it, hammer and tongs. No one can find it. Oh, and there's a mistake from Ray. He's gone wide. He seems to have picked that up very well though. That's not lost him any time. It seems to have hurt Grunhill more than anything else. These three very, very close now. Ray goes wide. He's got the inside line for the second hairpin. McCarran's up inside Grunhill. Grunhill on the back bumper of Ray once again. It's making that KX Momentum machine work as hard as possible. Down the start finish straight then. We are on to the last lap. Can Grunhill make this work to take the 5th? He's down the inside into turn 2. Has he finally done it? All these laps of hard work paid off. He's done it. He has made it stick. And now McCarran is on the back of Craig Ray. Nick McCarran looking for the 6th place. And Ray's lost 2 places in 2 corners on the last lap. Fantastic work from Grunhill and McCarran. So Grunhill up to 5th, McCarran up to 6th, and Craig Ray has been relegated down to 7th position. The leaders crossing the finish line. Andreas Katz takes the win. Simon Field 2nd, Adam Terry 3rd, Ellis Stevens 4th. And that 5th place was robbed, absolutely robbed from Craig Ray on the last lap, as a fantastic move down the inside from Grunhill into turn 2 gave him the 5th place, and McCarran taking advantage of the stir that caused to steal the 6th. Your results then after round 7. What an exciting round it was as well. Andreas Katz from pole to flag for eBay Motors takes the win. Simon Field in 2nd, Terry 3rd, Stevens in 4th. Grunhill then comes home in 5th in the end, McCarran behind him in 6th, Ray 7th. Simon Topham with a well-deserved 8th place. Stephen Hefford with a very impressive 9th, and Graham Smith coming back in 10th. Points all the way down to 15th, and unfortunately no points further down the field than that. So the last point today being taken by Peter van Gool in race 1 in the Pertec racing machine, and he has been able to come home in 15th place. Now let's see if we can grab a word quickly with Simon Topham. Simon coming home in 8th place in the race. How was that for you, Simon? Simon, you there? We're not able to speak to Simon, unfortunately. We'll try and catch up with him a bit later. So don't forget, we've got 2 more races to come today. We'll be taking around about a 15-20 minute break between race 1 and race 2, and the grid position from race 2, race 1 rather, will determine the grid position for the results from if I can get it right. The results from race 1 will determine the grid position for race 2. Katz on pole for the first race will be on pole for the second again. That's really aiding his championship. And then Field, Terry, Stevens and Grunhill. Join us for the second race from the iRacing British Touring Car Championship. It is round 8 from Okayama, coming up in about 20 minutes.